You always do terrible things to me with green screen.
I know. And you know what? Because it's your birthday, we're going to make this extra special. Everyone, come sing it with me. It's his 20 Han birthday today. You're 20 Han years old. So to get us started, let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Sing it, baby. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. All right.
But with that being said, speaking of 29, I feel like this is the 29th rework Rebels have gotten in the past 3 months. And that is Phoenix. They're up again. They're up again this time. So relevant in 4 months alone. And we're going to test it out today. We're on our test accounts. You've tried them out. You've battled a bunch of teams. Quick summary. 2-second spiel. How are they?
They're great on offense. They're amazing. They do very well.
And there are 5 Zetas, so we have a lot of questions to ask. So what we're going to do first to get us started here, go ahead, start your battle, and we'll start talking about the Phoenix and their Zetas because there's a lot going on here.
So we're going to go up against a General Kenobi Barris lead first and see how it goes. And I've been playing this for a little bit. I have not lost on offense once yet.
Yeah.
And so that is promising, right?
Very promising.
And
big step from before.
And I really like Expose. Expose seems to bypass the Kenobi, and I like that a lot. Now, you know, Sabine, she can just like fuel and give so much, you know, to so much health.
Right.
But, you know, it just seems like it's just brute force in getting through this.
It is, yeah. I mean, if you had to pick, let's say, because let's be honest, it takes a while to get Zeta mats. Usually 3 weeks minimum to get 20 Zeta mats, sometimes a month, maybe even more depending on your luck and your farming techniques. It's going to take about, let's just say, to be on the high end, 5 months to get a complete Zeta Phoenix squad. Is this something that you would tell people, you know, this is totally worth it, go for it? I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, they're a lot better than before with these Zeta mats, but with all the other Zetas in the game, are they a top priority? That's kind of the big question we have right now, and I have some ideas. I want to hear what yours are first.
No.
No.
No. Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Do you? I mean, I think it comes down to: do you already have Rebels?
Right.
You know, if you already have Rebels, you know, I would say maybe, you know, I would not spend. It's just way too many Zetas.
It's a lot, and the way the Zetas are with farming, it's just so hard unless they change things up significantly with the Zetas. I don't know if this is something you should be totally in. I mean, luckily, a lot of these abilities, I'm going to kind of just give a quick summary. If you want to get the post in terms of me reading it, just click on the card in the top right, and I go over all this stuff. But pretty much, there's a few of them that seem like they're very good outside the Phoenix faction, and it looks like Zeb, his Zeta, seems pretty significant. I don't know if we're going to get it here with your clip, but there was a scene when I was going up against your team. Zeb did like 35, 36,000, 40,000 damage with his new Zeta on staggering sweep, and pretty much just a quick spiel, it does plus 75% bonus damage and plus 20% bonus damage equal to the enemy's maximum health if the target has no debuff, and ignores armor if they have buff. Then there's plus 50% critical damage if the target is debuffed. A lot of stuff, but long story short, this could be a Kenobi killer. What happened? What happened?
I think Zeb just hit Nihilus for 49,000 plus another 6,000 or something. I don't know.
He's a tank.
Yeah, all I know is Nihilus is dead.
He's dead. Oh, man.
Dead.
So Zeb is on my high list in terms of Zetas for Phoenix that are great outside the Phoenix faction, and maybe he's a character that, I don't know, man. 49,000 on Nihilus. I have a clip of 38,000, 40,000 on Kenobi. It's a big hitting character, and it seems like he's supposed to be like, you know, usually in the TV series, you see Zeb go against these big guys. It's kind of like this. He's trying to take out Kenobi, trying to take out these high health, high protection characters. So he seems like he's going to be great in that regard. But some other characters are a bit more questionable. Like Ezra, he was already the best Phoenix character before. With Flourish, he just pretty much has a lot of extra bonus damage, and it's good. It does like 30,000 damage, but is that enough to convince me to give him my Zeta after spending a month? I don't know, but I like your point you made earlier. If you have no Rebels, this is something maybe to look into. If you're someone just starting off, honestly, just go all in Phoenix. I mean, they're easy to get. You're going to get Thrawn with the Phoenix characters. You're going to get Emperor Palpatine with the Phoenix. They're eventually going to be needed for Thrawn's Chimera if you plan on getting his ship. And now, offensively, they're a lot better once they have their Zetas, which is something you might just want to start doing on day one. Just work on the Phoenix characters, and they're great offensively, even below, you know, when you're starting off, you're in like the 300s, 400s. 400, so it's good. All right, let me go up against your team now. We're pretty much testing the Phoenix against the typical meta teams because that's kind of the best way to test out a character. That's why we have these test accounts so you guys have an informed decision beforehand on whether this is worth it. I've already tried attacking your team once, and they're formidable. They gave me a run for my money, I suppose, but I don't think they were like overly difficult where I was struggling big time. So I'm kind of going through it right now. I don't know. I'm going to get the buff immunity on Kanan, so he's not going to taunt. He's not going to cleanse now because I removed all this turn meter. Harris fracture. Now I'm just going to work on Ezra. I'm kind of worried about Zeb, man. He's like this scary monster that could do some decent damage if all goes well in his favor. But he didn't do that much damage that time, so we're good. I don't know. I just think, again, this is a team that if you're starting off, just work on your Phoenix characters. I don't know. It's funny.
You can't ignore Phoenix.
You can't.
You have to do Phoenix. This question is, do you want to Zeta all of them?
Yeah.
I don't know. Why?
I mean,
Zetas.
Zetaing is a problem for us players who are advanced, but for people who are beginning, Zetas aren't their concern yet until they start getting up to they're getting close to 80, and that's when you start thinking about Zetas. But beforehand, like, I'm kind of tearing this team apart, an all Zeta team, and I have I have a couple Zetas of myself on my own side. I don't know. I mean, they're good, but if you're just someone who's maybe playing in the short run, I guess maybe it's worth it. If Phoenix like the only faction you want in.
But honestly, you have more than 5 Zetas on your team.
Yeah, I got a lot of Zetas. Yeah, a lot of Zetas.
You've got 1 on Thrawn, 1 on Han, 2 on Commander Luke, or 3 on Commander Luke actually, and 2 on R2. So all your team has Zetas except for Kenobi. So
yeah, and arguably they're a little bit better. Like Han Zeta, it's insane. It's not confined to the Phoenix faction or like to just a Rebel faction. R2 is great.
That's the problem. Is it's confined to Phoenix. You know, I wish they were just usable on more teams. Maybe Kanan would be used on Jedi teams. Maybe Sabine could be used on a Wedge team. But nobody's doing that.
There's a
right
couple
now.
big questions when you're getting a Zeta, Matt. You're asking yourself several questions. Question number 1, will this make Galactic War easier? Question number 2, probably question number 1 should be, will they make my arena a lot easier? Then you have Galactic War as your second question. 3 is territory battles. 4 is the AAT raid, and no one cares about the Rancor raid that much because there's so many ways to beat it left and right, up and down. So those are kind of your 4 questions, and if you're not hitting all 4 of those points, you got to think to yourself, is this really worth it? And then you have the 5th option where is I don't care. I just want to give them a Zeta because I love them. That's a whole different thing. But if you're thinking of efficiency, you want to try to hit all 4 of those points, and Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, R2-D2, those are characters that are just great for every single game mode.
Yeah.
And Phoenix, I don't know, but I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad at all. All right.
Now I'm going to go up against Arnold's team.
Woo! The meta.
All right.
This is the meta, baby. If you can't beat it, get out of here because you're worthless.
The thing I like about Sabine is that she can attack and not have to worry about everybody coming back.
Yeah, the AoE, I think she's kind of a soft, maybe a direct counter towards the Commander Luke leadership teams, because the Commander Luke teams, man, you shake about using AoEs if you're not under stealth. With this team, there's no stealth for your team, but Sabine is the only one with the AoE, I believe, and not being able to get countered or have the attack evaded is huge. So I want to know if that makes a big difference taking out my team. All those exposes should help a lot, because what is it? She gets she exposes the target enemy, then inflicts an additional expose on a random enemy for each other Phoenix ally. So you should be applying like 5 exposes on that AoE, right?
They're all over the place. There's tons of them. Yeah, there's tons of them actually.
It's great. Yeah, I wish the expose wasn't constricted to just the Phoenix team, because imagine if those expose bonuses were able to work for the Resistance team. In a Resistance team, I think she'd only apply 2 exposes, which still helps out, but it'd be great if she was able to get all of those exposes, like getting 5 or 6 exposes for a Resistance team. I think that would help out a lot. But I don't know, man. How's it going so far with the
big money? Let's see if Zeb pulls this off right here. Let's see how it does. There was more than 20,000.
Okay. Well, yeah, you have to make sure everything's correct. You have to make sure the target has no debuff. If the target has no debuff, that's when you get the big damage on them. So, yeah.
He's gone. Basically, between Zeb and Ezra, we took him out with 2 hits, 3 hits. It's just great.
We just gotta say, I think Zeb has to be the best Phoenix Zeta character that there is, and it works outside the Phoenix faction. The only thing that constrains Zeb with this Zeta is the fact that he gains 10% turn meter for each Phoenix ally, so he won't be gaining that 50% turn meter when he's in a non-Phoenix team. But even so, the rest of the stuff, it's just big. Getting those big hits is not really constricted to the Phoenix faction that much. Getting those big 30,000, 40,000 hits, it's pretty significant. So
there's a ton of stuff going on, and then I'm not talking when I'm playing. about how it's different with the Phoenix, things that maybe I could do one more battle and I'll just talk way through it on how it was different before and after.
Yeah, I think this team is going to work offensively. It's going to be another one of those teams that can do well offensively, but I don't think it's nearly as good as Commander Luke teams that we have right now. But if you don't have Commander Luke, you don't have HAAT, you don't have General Kenobi, maybe this is a team to use to beat the meta. I don't know. But again, you could use Resistance to beat the meta. We know that, and that only requires 1 Zeta. Big bang for your buck right there. 5 Zetas for Phoenix, 1 Zeta for Resistance. They both win offensively for most of your battles. I don't know. Phoenix are easy to farm. I don't know. There's a lot of things to consider, but overall, obviously these are going to be big improvements for the Phoenix characters, but I just, the way that it takes to farm Zeta mats, I don't see me.
Yeah.
Unless Zeb. Zeb is like the only one where it's like, man, I wish I had Zeta Zeb for the Thrawn event that's coming back this weekend. It would probably make the event so much easier for me.
I don't know if I would Zeta Zeb first. I mean, maybe Ezra. I don't know if I'm going to Zeta any of these, actually. Maybe Ezra.
I'm probably not going to Zeta any of them. I just finished my R2D2 today. Finished both of the Zetas.
I need to do Thrawn and Raid Han. I got a lot of things
I got to do Commander Luke Skywalker still. Yeah, so unless you're someone who has, let's do this. If you have Commander Luke Skywalker all Zetaed out, R2D2 all Zetaed out, Han Solo all Zetaed out, who else? Finn Zeta, definitely get Finn Zeta. If you don't have Finn Zeta and you have all these other weird ones, make sure you get Finn Zeta. If you don't have those characters, don't be giving, in terms of efficiency, obviously if you love the Phoenix characters, you don't care about efficiency, go for advices regardless. But if you're thinking of efficiency, getting the best bang for your buck, get all those characters I just mentioned. Maybe Barra Zeta, I don't know if she's really on that list anymore in terms of must-haves. But that's, after you have those characters for sure, then start looking into this. Ezra's probably great because he's one of the best all-around characters in the game. Zeb would be on my to-do list, and then Kanan is also great. We have that question where, does his foresight ability work in his Jedi team, which we think it does, which would be significant. But
there were several times in that battle, though, that someone was stunned and Hera was able to dispel that. It turned out very well. It happened 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Even her Zeta made a difference.
But it's again, her Zeta's only... Yeah, her Zeta really...
Just a little bit.
But just to kind of wrap up your final thoughts here, Mobile Gamer, you said you're not doing this anytime soon, right? But if someone really wants to do it, give them your top 3 Zetas for the Phoenix. Who should they really focus on to make this team tick? Tough question.
Flourish, boy, that one is really good when it works. If you can hit a hero that doesn't have any positive status effects, which is few and far, but when you do it, it is a back-to-back attack, and it's a lot of damage.
Yes.
And Ezra is good on other teams, so that seems pretty safe. Kanan, I think, is a must if you're going to think about doing this team competitively in the arena. The turning your advantage from the foresight is pretty much a needed thing. And then, even Sabine, there's some tricky teams. If you're going up against General Kenobi and Barriss, you're going to need those exposes. It seems pretty good. Commander Luke, I can't really say that one is much better than the other. Now, I will say the thing that surprised me is Zeb. I thought Zeb was kind of like a underwhelming Zeta. No, that middle attack puts up some serious numbers.
I agree.
And it's a complicated ability too. I mean, there's all these little stipulations,
conditionals and stuff like that. If this, then that. If this, then that. Yeah. But
sometimes it just pops for like 50,000.
It's gonna be. I think it's a Kenobi and Barriss killer. That could be a Kenobi Barriss killer abilities. But I agree with you, Ezra. And then Kanan and Zeb, those are much needed. But beyond, I think Ezra and Zeb have the more flexible Zetas that can work in other teams as well. So take it as you will. I think they're a lot better than before. But again, you got to pick and choose your Zetas here, man. Very hard to get, but overall, definitely a more solid faction. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let us know down below. What do you think of the Phoenix characters? Are you going to give them Zetas? Let us know. They're probably one of the more important factions in this game, without a doubt. So you guys let us know. Make sure you subscribe to both of our channels and stay tuned. Mobile Gamer promised he was going to do a Kanan and Jedi video, so make sure that happens, man. You're on camera. You said it here and there. But till then, guys, we will talk again very soon. Peace out. Woo! 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 Can I get an E? Can I get a Z? Can I get an R? Can I get an A? What does that spell? Han! Woo!